All right, awesome, awesome. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Community with Closers. I got an amazing guest for you tonight. I'm super pumped. And yes, it is my birthday, and we are doing it. We're not missing a Wednesday for Community with Closers for you guys. But like I said, got an amazing guest, and I want to bring him on stage here and just let him tell his story and the path that he's been taking and crushing it. I've only known him now for a couple weeks. Saw him on Facebook, and he was right in my area, and I was like, shoot, who is this? And so anyway, I reached out, and man, he has been just loading up social media, helping people out. So with no further ado, I'm going to bring on Courtney Lee. And man, welcome to Community with Closers, brother.
Thank you for having me, Community with Closers. How you doing, Patrick?
I'm doing well, man. So this is pretty new show. We've done different things, training and stuff. And I was like, I wanted something that we can bring to the community that's just different. It's 30 minutes, because you get on podcasts and you listen for an hour and a half. And don't get me wrong, they're like really, really good nuggets. You get to know the person, but it's a lot, right? With our busy schedules, it's like 30 minutes. Let's get in, get it done.
Yes, sir. Let's get in and get out.
That's it. But I'm excited, man. Like, seriously, having you on, dude. So from carpet cleaner to industry leader in wood floor maintenance. So tell me about that.
Well, cool, man. So just to give a little background about myself, I'm originally from the Atlanta metro area. I'm from a city called Decatur, which is kind of part of Atlanta. And at the age of 19, man, I dropped out of high school at the age of like 16. And back then, my parents said, if you don't go to school, you got to go to work. So immediately started working little jobs, and I tried to follow my dad's path, and he always did like warehouse work. So after working at a few warehouses from like the age of 18 almost up to 19, I was like, I can't see myself doing this for the rest of my life. So I immediately, that's when I'm 42 years old. So that's back then when you can find a job in the local newspaper. And I'll never forget this saying. It said hard work, high pay. And when I called, it was a carpet cleaning company. And I called and I went in for an interview. Within like the same week, they hired me on the spot because I knew nothing about carpet cleaning. I didn't even know carpet cleaning was a service until I worked for one. We never had our carpets cleaned, never seen carpet cleaning trucks in our community. So long story short, man, I worked for this one company, and I just love the freedom that came with carpet cleaning, not being isolated to one spot all day, getting to meet different people. I always had a personality. I always had a way of just connecting with people. And I just fell in love with it, man. So long story short, worked for probably like 8-9 different carpet cleaning companies. At the age of 28, my wife came into some small finances, about $5,000, and we bought a portable, and we bought a little pickup truck, and we started cleaning carpets. Well, the first 5 years, bro, no business structure, no business planning, no business, don't even understand simple but fundamentals. And even when I started my carpet cleaning journey, I didn't even realize I was a horrible carpet cleaner because I had been trained wrong by these companies that I worked for so long. So after 5 years, Patrick, I started my company at the age of 28, about the age of 32. No, I'm sorry. I started my company at the age of 27. I had my daughter at the age of 28. So we have two daughters. And long story short, fast forward 5 years later, after starting my business, man, I just failed. I just failed horribly. And after hitting rock bottom, I call that my rock bottom moment. And I think in most of our adult lives, we have that either that wake up call or that rock bottom moment. You have one or the other. So I had a rock bottom moment, man. I just it just couldn't get any worse than this. So after revamping my mindset and just getting to the point, like, okay, Courtney, you have a family. Okay, you have a wife. You have a dream. You have a future. it's time to correct these issues while we can.
Yeah.
So I started changing my mindset. That's why I always speak about mindset, because this is where it starts first, up here. Okay.
Right.
And I start re-educating myself. I start reading more. I start studying more. I start working on my appearance. And one other main thing I did, I changed my inner circle. A lot of people that I was dealing with, a lot of, because there was a time in my life I was a loser. You're always blaming other people for your circumstances. You're always trying to use things like, oh, because I'm black, people won't give me. And they just realized it was just all a false narrative. It was just all make believe, things that I was using to hold me back. So I just started changing the type of people I started networking with, which took time because they had to accept me. And bro, after just picking myself up and just grinding out for like 3-4 years, I started really to see the change, and really in that fifth year as what I call my revamp, me going through my revamp stage. And I just fell back in love with my business. I had got my business to the point where I was working for clients that really appreciated me, what we call our upper middle class, higher end clients. I started getting to the point where I was charging $50 a room, which is really good in the carpet cleaning industry. And something that I took advantage of that has given me this platform that I've had for so long is YouTube. And I remember when I first started building an online presence, after I revamped myself, wanted to got me a website, wanted to get on Google. I noticed when I was going to all my local, I don't call them competitors, but my other local companies that was in my area. I noticed when I started going to their website, and the one thing about me, I observe a lot. I really study and home in, and I said, you know what? We all say the same thing. We all say we do a good job. We all say we use the best machine. We all say we're 5-star rated. But I said, Courtney, what is something that you can do that they're not doing? So really at the time, Patrick, a lot of guys was barely doing before and after pictures. So I started doing before and after pictures. But I said, nah, it's just, we can do something else. And the videos. Wow, I can start doing videos. Oh, wow, I can use YouTube, which is a free platform, to upload my videos. Wow, I can take those videos from YouTube and put them on my website. Wow, when people go to my website, they can see what I do. So I started taking advantage of YouTube. For the first 4 years, I was a faceless YouTube channel. Like, no one knew how I looked. They just saw my work. And the reason why, again, I used to have gold teeth.
Okay.
So if you go look at some of my old pictures, I used to have gold teeth. It's just a thing that we did in the South, and the communities that I come from. And I had my gold teeth removed about 5-6 years ago. So these are veneers, and again, working on myself, and that's when I started showing myself. So once I was helping a lot of carpet cleaners, they would ask me questions. What are you doing? What are you using? How do you do this? But they never knew how I looked for 4 years. So once I got the confidence and I got my gold teeth removed, it gave me the confidence to start showing myself. Well, once I started showing myself, man, it just opened up so many avenues. I had cleaners reaching out to me, asking me, can you consult with me? I'm like, consult? What the hell is a consult? Oh, I just want to, pay you to talk to you and ask you questions. Okay. Next thing you know, about 7 years ago, this guy named Josh, he's from Florida. He reached out to me and he said, hey, Courtney, I've been watching you on YouTube and I've been watching other guys, but it's something about you, man. I just want to learn from you. He said, I've taken carpet cleaning classes, but it's just not giving me the feel that I need to want to start my own carpet cleaning business. But this is something that I want to do. And he said, I was wondering if you would like, if I can come pay you to do a ride along. And I'm like, a ride along? What the hell? He said, I want to come ride with you and learn from you. Well, I've never, experienced that before, Patrick. So I brushed the guy off. I said, well, man, let me think about it, and I'll get back with you. So about 2 days later, he calls me back. He's like, hey, Courtney, this is Josh. Did you think about it? And I said, Josh, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I have never done nothing like this before. I don't know where to start. I said, bro, I don't even know you. I don't know if you're some serial killer, somebody's just stalking me. I just don't know where to begin with this. I said, I would love to help you, but this is not what I do. He says, Courtney, I'm dead serious. And I'm going to show you that I'm so serious. I'm going to send you a copy of my ID. And I'm also going to send you a copy of my up-to-date bank statement. And
Whoa.
once I send you this, just to show you that I'm serious, I hope that you'll get back with me. So within like 20 minutes, Patrick, he sends me a copy of his ID, and he sends me a picture of his bank statement of that day. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I've never seen that type of money in my own life. It was 6 digits, okay,
Dang.
a lot of 6 digits. And I said, "Whoa!" I said, "This guy's serious." So I call him back. Money talks. So I call the guy back. Hey man, so how long do you want to do a ride along for? He said, man, at least 3 days. So I told the
Mhm.
guy that, you know what? Give me $2,000. I just threw a number out there. He said, Courtney, how do I send it? Long story short, within like 2 hours, I had the $2,000. The next week, he was out, got him a hotel, not far from where I didn't have a shop then, and he did
Yep.
a 3-day ride along, and I
Nice.
just did my best, and So long story short, after the ride along, me and Josh went and had dinner, and I've never done this before.
Yep.
But now looking back at it, I was just seeing, how this was a part of my journey. So I asked Josh, I said, Josh, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never done this before. How was the experience? Was it worth the $2,000? And he
Yeah.
looked at me across the table. We was at O'Reilly's. No, I'm sorry, not
Mhm.
O'Reilly's, Old Charlie's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he looked at me. He said, Courtney, I'm gonna be honest with you. It was worth more than 2,000. He said, no, he said, if you would have told me $4,000, I would have paid it. And I was
Wow.
like, wow. So that turned into a whole nother avenue because I took that journey with me and him for those 3 days, and I put it on my YouTube channel, doing a ride along. And within the next 2 years, I probably had done 20, 25 ride alongs. I had companies that were sending technicians. I had companies that were starting carpet cleaning businesses. I had individuals owner operators that wanted to get into the carpet cleaning business, paying me to come ride with me.
Yes.
But then next thing you know, a lot of the industry leaders start recognizing me, and they start having me come out to events and conventions. And how did I convert? So everybody wanted to know, how did I convert from a carpet cleaner to where I am now as a industry leader in wood floor maintenance? So I had always been doing wood floor maintenance for the last 10 years, but it
Yep.
was just an add-on service, as my carpet cleaning business was like tile and grout, just like upholstery cleaning. So I would only do the service if someone would ask me about it. So 4 years ago, almost to this date, I had just got burnt out cleaning carpets, Patrick. It had just got boring. I lost my passion. And what I did when I got bored at it, I was around $60 per room. Well, I had took my prices up to $75, thinking that making more money would make me enjoy cleaning carpets. And that's when I realized, I like, wow, now I see why athletes can be making $20 a year playing football, and they just don't care about it no more because they just lose their passion. And
Yeah.
that's when I realized, like, money can't really buy happiness. It can buy temporarily happiness, but it can't buy true happiness.
Yeah.
So my wife was the first person that recognized it, and she said, "You don't enjoy cleaning." I'll never forget. We was upstairs in our hallway. She said, "You don't enjoy cleaning carpets no more. I don't hear you talking about it no more."
Mhm.
And I was about to lie about it. And I said, "Why lie about it, Courtney?" I said, "You know what? No, I don't." So immediately, I'm a spiritual person. I pray a lot. I meditate a lot. And I just started asking God to just open up a different avenue for me. And that was probably like the beginning of 2020. Well, the end of 2020, like this season now, the fall season of 2020, Patrick, anybody who's listening, I swear for God, in the fall time, October, November, December of 2020, I went from doing maybe 1 to 2 hardwood jobs a month to almost 4 or 5 a week.
Wow.
Hardwood jobs literally just start coming from nowhere. And I'm like, where? And I'm asking people, how did you hear about me? And most of the people were saying YouTube. The same
Mhm.
thing, I saw your videos, the same thing wrong with my floors. I need my floors done. And after that last stretch of 2020, I'm like, that light bulb went off. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
look how much you have done in hardwood floor maintenance in the last 3 months, and you really enjoy this. You can turn this into another avenue. So going into 2021, I made a decision. You know what? I'm going full time wood floor maintenance. I'm going to take the same passion, the same drive, the same effort that I have been putting in my carpet cleaning business for all these years. I'm going to do
Mhm.
wood floor maintenance. And I never forget two of my colleagues. I got to give shout out to these guys, Luciano and God, what's my other guy's name? Tom. Tom. Those guys used to own a franchise. I'm not going to mention their name, but they kind of do wood floor maintenance, but not like what I do. Well, both of those guys reached out to me and they said, Courtney,
Mhm.
you do your wood floor maintenance, you will be very successful at it because you do things that the franchise that we bought into don't do. So
Nice.
it gave me confidence, and I went and got me a whole nother van. I got a Ford Transit high top, and I turned it into my first wood floor maintenance truck. And I got me a whole different I basically got a whole different company. I got a new LLC, new EIN number, new company name, and
Mhm.
I switched my business profile to my new business name.
Oh, nice.
And that was the beginning of 2021. And Patrick, that was just like one of the best decisions I ever made. That
Love it.
year, 2020, I had two carpet cleaning trucks at the time. Both of my carpet cleaning trucks had grossed about $450,000 a piece. I mean, not a piece together. So that's
Okay.
about 225 per truck of the year of 2020. The year of 2020, 2021, with myself and a helper doing wood floor maintenance full time, I
Mhm.
grew 480
Love it.
with one
Yeah,
truck.
no brainer there.
No brainer, less work. I mean, I went from doing 3 to 4 carpet cleaning jobs a day to one wood floor job a day. Like right now, my wood floor maintenance job
Mhm.
average is $2,800. I just went and did a job. I don't know if on Facebook, if you saw it, the one that I saved, did
Probably
another.
did, yeah.
That job was $4,000. We knocked that job out in 7 hours,
Wow,
$4,000. Yeah.
that's awesome.
Last week we did 4 wood floor maintenance jobs and we grossed a little bit over 11,000.
Mhm.
So that decision of going full time with wood floor maintenance has put me just in a whole different category. I now have a private group on Facebook where I teach people from around the country. I actually got members in other countries of the world. I have done 2 classes. This year has been such an amazing year. I have made so more connections this year,
Mhm.
including you and so many others this year than my whole career with this
That's
decision.
awesome.
I've become such a unique person
Mhm.
in the wood floor industry where they call me the wood floor maintenance expert.
Mhm.
I got um, I had IRCRC
Mhm.
bring me out to Vegas this past September, and I did a 2-day presentation out there. Cameron Maysville, he's a highly respected rug specialist and
Mhm.
instructor in the industry that we are in. He um, invited me to come out to Omaha with him again. I like, oh, okay, let's do it. We tag team, and now we did 2 classes this year in Omaha, Nebraska. A rug cleaning, hardwood floor maintenance class. 2 classes. Just Cameron said, Courtney. I usually have about maybe 8 to 10 people that come out for my rug class. Our first rug cleaning hardwood floor class, we had 37 people. Yeah.
Dang, that's what I'm
Our
talking about.
Yes, our second class we had about 29 people. I mean, so we're
Nice.
going to do that again this year.
Mhm.
I had Shaw come out, want to meet me because I actually was able to save some floors that their own inspectors that said they could not be saved. And actually, one of those floors was in your area of not Greenville, but it's another city above Greenville, Aldersville. It's a little bit past Greenville.
Mhm.
But we want to save the ladies' floor. And Shaw came
Okay.
out. It was a Shaw floor. They found me on YouTube, and I went out there and saved that floor. So that's how I transitioned from a carpet cleaner to the wood floor maintenance, guy now that I am. Just basically just taking opportunity and running with it. And I will say, with that opportunity, it has come a lot of failures. But I tell people I don't look at failures as I fail. I look at it as a lesson. Because we
Yeah.
all should learn from our failures. So our failures should be lessons, not something that holds us down, but actually to motivate us to learn from this experience and go out here and see how we can improve ourselves. So I've made a lot of costly mistakes. I've made a lot of mistakes that, again, I had to, pay people thousands of dollars to fix my mistakes. But I'm so glad that I didn't give up on that
Yeah.
journey that I've been on the last 3 years, because, man, it's not just about me. One thing about you, as you're a leader, it's not even about you. It's about how you can serve others.
That's
And
right.
some of the guys, I mean, I've been helping people, man, with my social platforms, my social presence. I
Hmm.
mean, just to have, men calling you. I had a guy call me one time and say, Courtney, you saved my life. Just with your videos and your motivation and your willingness to help people, you literally have saved my life. And I never forget, man, this guy, when he was telling me this on the phone, he
Hmm.
said, my family want to tell you something. So he put it on speakerphone, and his wife and his kids were like, thank you, Courtney, so much. You just don't know how you helped my daddy. And, man, it just brought tears to my eyes.
Wow.
And I just the emails and the phone calls, and just guys that I have took under my wing and teach them. I have a guy
Yeah.
that I'm going to be doing a video with next week, Bobby Shane. Bobby Shane he's South Georgia of me. He's been
Hmm.
in the carpet cleaning industry for over 30 years, and he joined my private group 6 months ago, and he's going to share his story. He said, Courtney, in 6 months, bro, with what I've learned from you, I've grossed over $90,000.
Yes. Well, let
Yeah.
me ask you a question. So to recap on that, I mean, that's an amazing story, right? Like how you went from that, you failed, right? But you kept persevering and you became a leader in the industry by, just becoming the expert in what you're doing, finding out, what not your competition, right? But the other, contractors in the area, because we're never really competition. We help each other. That's what it's all about. There's enough
Yeah.
work to go around, right? That
Yeah.
abundance mindset, right?
There you go.
And so with that being said, you're like, okay, but I still need to diversify myself because there's still this niche that I want to become the expert in that nobody else can, say that they do or do it as good as you. And then
Yeah.
take it to another level. And I think for viewers watching, like you can do this, right? In any industry you're in, I
Yeah.
tell them become the expert
Expert.
because when we start teaching, we learn it at a higher level, right? Like we're doing it, we know it. Like, yeah, nobody can do it, as bad as me, right? No, there are people that can do it better than us.
Yes.
And then you got to learn it, you got to teach it, and then you're learning even more because you're getting so many different perspectives,
Yes.
as you're teaching.
Yes, sir. And that is so true, man. And not only that, man, is especially in the fields that we are in, and I love the way I can kind of see the industry transitioning
Hmm.
from your standard go to a classroom to the ride alongs. That's why a lot of people love to come learn from me, because I put them in real situations. I still do my Zoom classes. I've done Zoom. I've done 2 Zoom classes this year. I've done the classes with Cameron. I've done the presentations at the experience in Vegas. But one thing I do tell people, you have to have a realistic, expectation. When you come to a classroom or when I do a Zoom class, guys, this is the fundamentals. This is not real world. I have a pallet back there that I had, my colleagues that build floors, and they built me a pallet, and I have to let people know what you learn from my private group or what you learn when you come out into the real world.
Hmm.
This is not it. This is stage, okay?
Yeah.
I'm just giving you a taste of it. So that's one thing I love, the way I see the industry is changing, because I'm actually networking with some of the industry leaders right now in the carpet cleaning, community, of trying to change the industry, because it's really outdated. Going to classrooms and people get bored really fast. So
Yeah.
the thing about it is that it's trying to bring a real world experience to our students. Someone said, Courtney, your gift is not what your gift is. Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, that's huge compliment. Man. Gift and
Thank you.
amazing communication with a heart of service. When you
Yes.
shift into this, you'll add one in front of the
480.
480K. That's right.
Speaking into
Or
existence.
better.
That's what I'm talking about, man. And
Right.
my client, people can sense that. People can sense your aura, your aura, we're, I don't want to, we're spiritual beings, like, I don't know, how people can relate with that, but people can feel, so you ever been around somebody like something ain't right about that person. Something ain't right.
It's a frequency,
Yeah,
right? Like
there
your
you go. It's a
frequency.
frequency. Yes.
Yeah.
If it's not matching, something is off.
Yep.
So this is why we connect with certain things and we don't connect with certain things. So now that I look back on my journey, Patrick, I see like we go through things in life. I tell people you don't understand sometimes what you're going through until you get through it.
Yeah.
So now that I look back and I say, man, now I see how everything has come together. Now I see why I went through this. Now I see why, this was a caution mistake. Because that's what we learn. I told my guy today, I said, we don't learn from our wins, we learn from our failures.
That's
If
right.
we won all the time, so that's the thing, man. It's just, serving people. It feels really good, even as you can vouch, it feels good when you're a true asset to your community. When your
Yeah.
community speaks highly of you, they recommend you, they just, I mean, when I stopped cleaning carpets, I cannot tell you how many people I pissed off.
Yeah.
Like,
They're like, come do my garbage. What do you mean you're not doing garbage right now?
I
Oh, yeah.
pissed a lot of people off. I'm like, listen, I don't clean carpets no more. And that was one of the hardest things to get over. Because again, but I knew I lost my passion when I started shortcutting my work. And again, man, it hit my spirit. And I'm like, Courtney, this ain't right. You're sitting here charging people top dollar, but you're giving them a half service job. Something has to give. You can't
Yeah.
keep doing this because you're going to catch up. I believe in karma. Karma is real. So that's,
Right.
God led me to this, what I'm doing now. And I just love it, man. I just love it. I love being able to save people's floors for the most part. I can't save every floor, but like the one that I did today, man, that job it was probably the biggest challenge I've ever had in my wood floor maintenance experience. I couldn't even sleep last night thinking about that job.
Dang.
I
You take it to heart. There it is.
Yeah, but I won the battle, man. So, but yeah, Patrick, I greatly appreciate this.
Yeah, dude. No, I mean, you said something key there too, is like, you got to fall back in love with your business. You know what I mean? Because that's where the rubber meets the road. And I didn't realize how similar our stories were, because you hit that rock bottom, like you're going to give up, right? Like, and the saying is Goya, get off your ass, right? Like sometimes you just got to get
I
off
like
your
that.
ass and you got to
Yeah.
make it happen, right? And
Yes.
so it is what it is. And like for viewers, this was a rough year for a lot of people, right? And this is where you can look at things, and life will take you different directions, right? Like your business is different. Your why will change as you grow. I mean, shoot, I've been doing this for 18 years now in the exterior cleaning industry. And it's like, man, like none of my friends, anybody growing up would, even think that I made it to age 38 today. But you know what I mean? They thought I'd be in jail or dead. But the reality is, like, when you start pouring into people and you start, like, things happen behind the scenes, you know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
you start, like you said, you start seeing those opportunities and you got to jump for it. You got to just let the door open and walk through it.
There you go, bro. You got to move in faith, man. And like you just said, man, when you said things happen behind the scene, you know what I call that? That's the magic. That's the magic
That's
that you
right.
don't see. And it's so true, bro. Like everything is a season. Like I said, this was definitely. I tell people say, Courtney, was this a good year for you? I said it was a great year because it created more opportunity for me to teach more, to take advantage of those opportunities. Going out to Vegas and going out with Cam and networking. But everything is a season, man. So I tell people the blessing I can say for a lot of us, yeah, my numbers are down from last year, but guess what? I'm still in business. I
That's
didn't
right.
lose my job. I didn't lose my trucks. I didn't, so I tell people, man, sometimes we have to look at the positive. Everything has a season and this is business. And one thing I've learned, Patrick, in life, control what you can control. People talk about politics, people talk about the economy, but just control what you can control and do the best that you can with what you have. And just like this year, some of us are down. A lot of people prosper, just like with COVID. A lot of companies went out of business, but a lot of companies became millionaires, during that season. So you just have to just understand your season, do the best you have. And when you're up, enjoy the moment. And when you're down, stay patient, stay calm, and just understand that everything is not always going to be peaches and cream. But as long as we can get through what we're going through, man, everything will be okay.
That's right, man. Yep, God's got a plan. That's for sure.
Sir. And sometimes we don't understand it, but like I said, when we get through it, when we let him mold us and let us go through the process, you'll look back. And that's why every day I have no word. I like Patrick. I'm going to say something a lot of people might not understand. A lot of people always ask me, Courtney, what is your end game? And I tell people, I don't have an end game. They say, what do you mean? I say, I live my life one day at a time. If God has brought me this far and some of the stuff that I've done in my youth, in my young age, if he has brought me this far and he has done this with me, I have no worries. I am not worried about what I'm going to have in my bank account from 20 years ago, I know that I'm going to be A-okay. And I just live my life one day at a time, because there's a Bible verse that says, live in the presence. Tomorrow, yesterday is gone. Hold on. Yesterday is gone and tomorrow's not promised. So today is all we have.
Yeah.
And so when tomorrow gets here, I'll worry about tomorrow.
That's right. And I love that, man. I love it. Yep. That's what it's all about, being present and capturing that day. That's good.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I appreciate you.
Yeah, that's what happened with a lot of people. I see a lot of people, they live too far in the future where they don't really focus on the present. And I tell people, focus on what's in front of you, take today and make the best out of it. And if you do that every single day, you will be at your best every single day.
That's exactly right. Yeah, it goes through anything. You know what I mean? I think there's a book. There was a book about it. It was like about today. It was like, if you're working out, just focus on doing those 10 reps today, right? Like tomorrow's coming. Just focus on today. Don't think about, doing them all week. No, just think about today. That's it.
I'm pretty sure us as men, I don't work out now. I'm going to start back working out when my mother-in-law moves out. She's just cut up my garage. I have a tonal. Man, I love that thing. But as guys working out, let's say, like, how old are you, Patrick?
I'm 38.
Okay, so I'm 42. You remember when you used to go to the gym and you start off with, let's say, 150 pounds, and you lift that, and then 2 weeks later you're at 175, and a month later you're like, oh man, I am strong. Well, like you say, that you didn't get to that 225 in that one day. You had to build yourself up. And you just had to just take it one day at a time.
That's right. Just keep putting them reps in, right?
Yeah, that's it, sir.
Sweet. Well, dude, I really appreciate you coming on, man. Like I said, 30 minutes, right? So before we end, though, what are some takeaways, I guess you'd say, for people like, where we were, right? Like getting into it, maybe somebody hit rock bottom. Like, what is something that you can say to the viewers of like, execute on? Like, what is that one thing maybe you would say for them to execute on in the next few days?
Man, the one thing I can give anybody who is going through something in business is don't be afraid of risk and challenge.
Yes.
Do not be afraid of it, because a lot of people get content. A lot of people want to get that, it's like if it's a storm outside, I look at it as some people, they'll take like a box and they'll enclose themselves, away from the storm, so they don't have to deal with it. But I tell people, eventually you got to come out that box. You got to come out of your own mindset that you are basically holding yourself hostage, and you gotta move, and you gotta take risks.
That's right. Be like the bison, right? Run into the storm.
Yes, sir. Run into the storm.
You'll be surprised what you can do, because when our backs up against the wall, man, we come out swinging. I'm telling you.
Yes, and that's what happened to me, man. When I hit my rock bottom moment, bro, I it was a day that I'll never forget, and it was a day I had to go through, and I cried like a baby because I felt like I could not give my family a good life. And like I said, man, when I hit that rock bottom moment, and after I stopped wiping all the tears from my eyes and stopped feeling sorry for myself, I picked myself up and I said, Courtney, we gotta fight, we gotta challenge, and we about to go to work. And the whole I call it poor man mindset that I used to have, I got rid of it. And I said, like you said, I'm about to live a life of abundance. I'm about to not be afraid to speak to people. I'm not about to be afraid to reprogram myself, work on my communication skills, everything that's holding me down. I'm not going to be afraid of that no more.
I
And
love it. That's where it's at, man. Don't be afraid, work on it. Like I had a speech impediment, right? Like I was in special ed.
me too.
Dude, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But like, we're fighters.
Yeah. I used to go to a speech class. I could not say S's. I cannot pronounce words with S's and R's. And I was in those classes, man. And in my youth, in my elementary youth, and one of the best things that I did to help me work on that, Patrick, is I surrounded myself around people that spoke way better than me. That saying, the 5 people that you surround yourself around can be the important people in your life, and that is so true.
So true.
So watch your inner circle as well, guys. But really watch who you surround yourself around.
Yes. You want people lifting you up. Dude,
Yes,
awesome talking to you. We're definitely going to have you back on Community with Closers because there's so much, right? So much to unpack. But 30 minutes, there's so much. So I appreciate you, man, and look forward, to talking to you more and the events coming up and everything. It's going to be an amazing 2024 for sure.
Yes, it is, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Be in Vegas again, February 26th to the 28th. I've been asked to come out and do a what is it called? The speaker who opens up what do they call it?
Not announcer, but a DJ or something like that.
DJ, they call him a keynote speaker. Speaker.
Yeah.
I want to be a keynote speaker at Damon Williams. He's another industry leader in the carpet cleaning industry at the Icapaloosa in Vegas. So I'll be there. That's my first, and that's my first event so far. And then I've also been introduced to come back to the experience in Chattanooga in April. So 2024 is going to be a great year, and hopefully we'll end up meeting each other soon.
Yes, look forward to it. All right, guys. Well, thank you again for tuning in to Community with Closers with Courtney Lee. We will see you guys next Wednesday, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. All right,
guys. Have a great night.